Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Shai, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Shai, Brakathia Howell, Brakathia Howell, Bashim Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, which rule well. And salutations to the whole for the elect out there, man. You Akim to Sadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the pre-Shemana, this week's topic is going to be a response to Russia's Burevestnik missile. It's pretty much unlimited range missile, nuclear powered, nuclear tipped missile. You know what I'm saying? Um, this is from the channel Defense Updates, and if you subscribe to this channel, it's really good because they'll have the latest technology released to the public, at least from each country, from tankers to helicopters to our favorite missiles, man. All right. And every time I find some type of information, I always consult that guy, that former military guy I know. And when I sent him this video, first thing I asked, do the Americans have this? Because just like hypersonic technology, officially, they say only Russia has it. But, according to his words, look, man, they're catching up. So they have it. The United States does have hypersonic missile technology. By the way, hypersonic means anything above Mach 5 or 5 times the speed of sound. And when you type in hypersonic or scramjet engine, which is a build on a ramjet engine, a scramjet engine propels the missile, via glider, sometimes rockets, out of space and have it come back into the atmosphere going at speeds of Mach 20, which is super fast. The kinetic energy alone in some of these devices could cause the equivalent of a nuclear explosion without the fallout. So, yeah, man, that's why it says this in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse, I believe it's 13. For strong is the right hand that bendeth the bow. All right. It says his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot in the ends of the world. Now we know that you can't shoot actual arrows from one continent to the next. The ends of the world from the east is the west, and the ends of the west is the east. So what it's talking about is missiles. It's as strong as the right hand that bendeth the bow. Bending the bow is the nuclear silos that these missiles are housed in. The arrows themselves are the missiles. In fact, the defect missile is called Broken Arrow. They made a movie about it. The apostles always get into it. When you read above a bit too, it says in verse 9, a fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quencheth? So we know that these arrows are going to be delivering fire, right? And one thing I've learned from talking to this former military guy or anybody that's been in the military for years, a lot of times when they say they're working on things, that mean they already got it, or we're trying to get this thing together that's already in development. And that's how the United States roll. Places like North Korea, China, and Russia, they always have military shows. And to boost the people morale, they'll tell them, look, we're working on this, we're working on that, But you're not gonna let the people know what you got, the latest things you got. And we know it's always gonna be a nuclear arms race. In other words, if Russia come up with hypersonic, the United States have to have it and something to counter it. And they go back and forth, you know what I'm saying? They go back and forth. And that's the most I having these devils do this, man. Keep building and building more ways to destroy themselves, because that's how this place is going to get out of here. America is going to be destroyed in a nuclear, the Third World War, which is going to be nuclear, the war to end all wars, if you will. And this is all prophesied in the Bible. This is all prophesied in the Bible. In fact, this is the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 26. Wait a minute, Salakia. Let me flip this around because I want this one on top rather. Yeah, let me see if I can flip this. Oh, shit, being difficult. Pardon me, brothers. Let me just do it like this. There you go. Unlimited range, nuclear tip, nuclear powered missile, man. Shit. Job 20, verse 26. All darkness shall be hid in its secret places. It says, a fire now blown shall consume him. A fire now blown, because these missiles, you don't gotta light like a match in them to get the after effect of a nuclear explosion. In fact, when you go into hypersonic technology, when something goes hypersonic, they use a ramjet engine to propel it to go supersonic, and from supersonic, after when to go into hypersonic, there's no moving parts. Everything is they use air pressure to make it reach speeds of up to Mach 20. It's like dropping meteors from the skies, man. You know? It says, a fire not blown shall consume it. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. So when the nuclear missiles hit America, I mean, just the kinetic energy alone of these hypersonic missiles, which, by the way, hypersonic missiles are also they're damn near unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Because they're maneuverable. See, ballistic missiles, you could do air-to-air defense systems, or even surface-to-air defense systems to knock nuclear missiles out the way. Supersonic's a bit harder. I mean, the faster they go, the harder it is. But when you're talking hypersonic, that's maneuverable. That's like these things are traveling faster than bullets, and that's like trying to shoot a bullet with another bullet, and the bullet's able to curve. So it's unstoppable. Once the target has been declared to be hit by a hypersonic missile, all you could do is evacuate. It says, a fire now blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. So that fire now blown is when these things, when they detonate at something called ground zero, which is it's like above. Ground zero is I don't know how it is in the sky, but pretty much you just get engulfed by a nuclear blast. Look, there's no way to survive the nuclear destruction that's coming here unless you're delivered via the chariots. I'm talking about here in America. I mean, the nuclear fallout. There's gonna be no electricity because the EMP is gonna be given off. It's just gonna change the world, man. The only way you're gonna be delivered out of that, man, is if you're on the chariots or the so-called UFOs that Yahweh Shai is gonna bring when all this is going down. Because when these nations are fighting with each other, the coming of our Lord is going to unify them again, and they're going to be unified under Russia. And you can see that the Most High is having Russia be that next superpower that everybody's showing favor towards, man. Everybody's getting pissed off with the ways of America. America done caused all types of coup d'etats in these different parts of the world, and Russia is coming in as an ally to help them out. So, I see that prophetically that, these nations are already slowly starting to back Russia, man. But by the way, even though these missiles have unlimited ranges, the guy that I know in the military, he's pretty much say it's not a weapon that they need. As in the American military, it's not a weapon that they need because they have ICBMs, which could hit anywhere in the world. He said it's very interesting, but it's not a game changer. And I have to agree. Look, man, Russia and the United States had the ability to destroy each other back in the 60s. It's just the Most High. I could call this missile like an and-one missile. Remember and-one basketball, how niggas did the extra shit? This is just some extra shit, man. Unlimited range, nuclear-powered, nuclear tip. That's just some and-one shit, man. But you know what? That's all the will of the Lord, This is Jeremiah 51:11. It says, make bright the arrows. Gather the shit. Wait a minute. Make bright the arrows. Yeah, look, man, if you brothers seen 300, when they let off them arrows, the arrows blot out the sun. But Jeremiah is saying, make bright the arrows, all right? And that's what these missiles look like, man. We see them in the skies when you watch them missile videos. They look like falling stars, man. They look like stars coming. They look like friggin' arrows on fire, bright arrows just coming at you. That's what the prophet is talking about. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirits of the kings of the Medes. All right, so that's them Russians, man. For his device is against Babylon, and that Babylon is talking about America. Now I want to say this, a lot of times, it looks like the Russian military is far more advanced than the U.S. military. That's not necessarily true, because the United States They don't do military parades. They don't tell the nation the latest stuff they got. They just do everything in secret. Another testimony that guy was giving, he was saying, look, when he was out there, the Predator, when the Predator was, everybody was talking about the Predator drone, he was out there and something flew over their heads. And one of the guys that know engines was like, that's not a Predator, that's something else. He's like, nah, they was like, nah, that's what everybody was saying, nah, that's a Predator. He's like, nah, that's something else. And 2 years later, they released the Reaper drone. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they roll. They could have stuff years in advance, the B-2 bomber, and test that in Area 51. So just because Russia is saying they got this and that and this, don't mean that the United States don't got some shit up their sleeves too, man. I mean, this is the world's largest military, over $750 billion in funding per year, compared to Russia's, which is under 100 million. So you got to know the United States have some crazy shit, man. They just don't put it out there. For his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, the vengeance of his temple. So America has a great deal to pay for, all right? The enslavement of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are God's chosen people, which they kill to this day. Zechariah 11:5. They going up in an old woman's house, blasting them away. I'm talking about these white cops, Edomite cops. The Latinos and Native Americans are in constant oppression, and not only what you've done to the people, but our inheritance, which is the world. Scripture tells you that in the book of 2nd Ezra. All right, 6th chapter, around the 58th verse, that the world was created for our sake. So you destroying the world, we feeling that hurt too, man. So by all means, the so-called white man just got to get put out. In fact, the only good thing the so-called white man ever did was create these missiles. All right, create the noose that's gonna hang himself, man. And that's the will of the Lord, man. Having to keep competing, all right, to come up with more advanced ways to destroy each other. It's all the Most High. Look, see, Isaiah 54:16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. So it's the Most High that's creating these smiths. All right, in the ancient world, you go to a smith to forge weapons. Same shit today, nothing new under the sun. It's just that these weapons are far more advanced and angelic. But at the end of the day, it's the Most High all behind it, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And what's the Most High's instrument? The Most High has some bad names for these missiles. He calls them arrows, swords, instruments. The waster for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. See that? You play GTA 5, when you die, it says wasted. This missile is going to issue in a whole bunch of death. It's the ultimate waster. And all the prophets have seen it and described it in different ways, whether it be an army, whether it be a face like a lion and a tail, like a serpent, bright arrows, or right sharp arrows, glittering sword, man. You have all names for this thing, man. All right, they just describe it to the best of their ability. But the ICBM missiles are a part of Bible prophecy, because you got some dickheads out there, all right, that think that nuclear missiles don't exist. Even guys calling themselves Israelites that think that. But guess what? They bugged out. They not of the Lord's. Them niggas is deceivers and false prophets. Yeah, man. So, this video's on defense updates. That channel is ill, man. You go to defense updates, man. They got all types of videos. And they discuss different scenarios, like what would happen if the United States went to war with Iran. So you see all these types of different military. Look at that, German made. They go into radars. Damn, man. Look at this, man. The Mossad got them, the Russian Kazan nuclear submarine armed with hypersonic Zircon missiles. Damn. Hey, man, this is beautiful, man. The Mossad got these devils creating some shit. Tanker drone. Man, shit. Yo, see this, man? Hey, but that's just the Most High got this arms race things going. We're in Cold War 3, if you will. Which eventually a Cold War is going to lead to a hot war, because you have trades and sanctions all over the world. There's all types of civil unrest all over the world. Everything is boiling up. Everything is boiling, So we know some shit's about to pop off soon, man. Just a matter of time. With that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekakodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, true well. Shalom.